Here you go. Is this for your paw? Let me see. Come here. Oh, that's tall, man. You had me about your breakfast. Man, you something else. Come on, cook. You funny than a motherfucker. You had me all buried in shit. We about to be on our way to Flagstaff. 2-hour drive, turn to an hour drive. We about to be hauling ass. Yeah, Papa. You had me all weird like that, man. What the hell? I know what you're looking for. No, man, you're gonna be like all them damn treats and treats and treats and treats. No, man. You had more treats. I gave you more treats than I gave Charisma in 1 year in a day. Man, hell no. I gotta go out to the store. Don't sit right there. I mean, look at my feet gonna be right there. How you gonna put? How you gonna sit right? Dude, let me. Can I? Thank you. Just gonna pop your ass right there where you know my feet gonna be at. All right. You gonna get some? I got like 5 of these left now. What is that, 4? Thing, man, like a crack patient with this shit. I thought that was, oh no, that's too much. Oh, hell no. I need to have the light in front, but I got it back, so deal with it. I actually have one of them little round lights. I couldn't even believe I bought one of them things from Walmart. Made in China. I turned it on maybe twice. I don't even want to use the shit. Nothing against Chinese people, but everything against the brainwashed lunatics like here. Cold. It feels good. I'm going out tomorrow, y'all. See if I can run about 3 miles. I'm not gonna attempt no 5-minute or 6-minute miles. I'm just run a mile, like a 10-minute mile, just to see where everything's at. 3, maybe 5 miles. We'll see. After my lungs healed, the first thing I did was ran 3 miles, and that was without warming up or training, you know. So what's up, Papa? What's up, Papa? You want to give me kisses? You're welcome. He didn't even give me a look at. He ain't like, hey, what's up, Papa? You coming out? Come on. Oh, you trying to be? Oh, you fancy now? You brand new? That food digest for you and stay off the knife. I know you too. Yeah, that's my little Papa. Is it good? He came back, you know he was wrong. You don't just ignore me like that. I don't ignore nobody. I gotta fix your little scratchy poly thing. I gotta dig out the glue gun. I'm just gonna use super glue. Elephant. No, Gorilla Glue. I can't believe it. Let me see. I'll get one down here, though. I can't believe you broke that thing like that, cuz. You is funny. No, that's for the air guns. Excuse me. That's what happens when you get a little bored, people. Gonna enjoy me an Altoid. I got a friend, every time he goes out, he brings me these because he knows I like to take old t-shirts, cut them up in little squares, put them in here, put them in the oven at 400 degrees for like 34. They won't catch on fire, and it makes them into charcoal, like black. So I enjoy these as much as possible whenever I feel like it. Or ginger. Tired. I am. I want to go to sleep. We're gonna get right into it because I'm tired, y'all. I really am. Called Walk to Another Universe. Lofty beats, no copyright. Lofty beats. It's just a relaxed tune. Plays anywhere from 3 to 10 hours, depends on what you want. You know what I mean? And you know, these people are funny with hitting me with the copyright thing, man. I mean, I'm not worried about copyrights, but like I'm using. You can't make this up. You see the post I put up there. That's directly to them. So if you're reading it, it has nothing to do with you. Everything to do with just having a comfortable, oh my ears, having a comfortable place where you're comfortable. And regardless of what's being said, you must learn how to be comfortable in totality. I wouldn't care if somebody was cutting your head off. Find a comfortable place. It's going to be over. No matter what. I know that's very, very, that's way to the left, but I'm just saying. Yeah, Rich, if you come in here, you already know I got the other one. I got a bigger, older version of Enoch, which is, it reads a lot different, people. I mean, still the same stuff, but words are more closer to paleo as far as the meanings. That's why I insert Hawa, light, luminaries, because that's exactly what it's alluding to. My cat's looking all over above me. There's nothing flying or nothing. I pay attention. And if you've got pets, birds, cats, lizard, iguanas, snakes, and they're doing different stuff, you pay attention. And that's another thing. He says, why do you look so ominous? I said, well, how do I look when you're around me? He says, everybody's like, you always got some mysterious mysteriousm about you. I'm like, no, that's just the way y'all perceive it. He says, then what about those people when they come up talking to you and we're like, where they come from? Who are they? And I'm like, that's how you perceive it. You conceptualize something based upon what you see, that the visual viscerally, that has nothing to do with the reality of your thought. Now, am I telling you not to think that? No, if that's what makes you feel comfortable. Because there are times when we're talking, like some of us, and somebody starts getting to talking Masonic or, you know, doing stuff, and I catch them. I say, hey, what you doing? And then all of a sudden, like, for some reason, 5 or 10 minutes later, a vehicle or some people walk by and be like, yo, Red. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I walk out and talk to them, and it's very low tone. You know, I'm like, you know what I used to say? Don't worry about them. If they didn't introduce yourself, if they didn't introduce themselves, don't worry about it. Trust me. It's real funny. So, Red, if you see me, Red, if you see me, Red, if you see me, Fred, if you see me, there you go. We're at chapter 64, guys. Look, you just ate some. Go take a poop. That's what you would need. Go scratch some clay, some kitty litter. Drop a load and then zoom. That's his thing now. When he drop a dose, like Richard Petty, all 43, or 42, 43, all the, I mean, literally upside the wall. I mean, all right, let's go ahead and get this in. Enoch, chapter 64. In other forms I saw hidden in that place, I heard the voice of the angelic one saying, these are the luminaries who descended to the earth. What you sniffing? And revealed what was hidden to the children of men. To the children of men. And seduced the children of men into committing sin. It's funny how the children are in positions on high and in control and don't have and lack control, responsibility, and morality, are easily subjugated and influenced with false power, warlike mannerism, and everything else over the origin of who we are and still here. Well, and in those days, chapter 65, and in those days, Noah saw the earth. And y'all know his real name? Well, we'll just call him Noah. It's real enough. Don't worry about it. Noah saw the earth, that it has sunk down, and its destruction was nigh. And it's in the lower place. And he arose from thence and went to the ends of the earth, and cried aloud to his grandfather Enoch. And Noah said 3 times with an embittered voice, hear me, hear me, hear me. And I said unto him, tell me what it is that is falling out on the earth, that the earth is in such evil plight and shaken, lest perchance I shall perish with it. And I said unto him, tell me what it is that is falling out on the earth, that the earth is in such evil plight and shaken, lest perchance I shall perish with it, if he is not told. And thereupon there was a great commotion on the earth, and a voice was heard from heaven, and I fell on my face. And Enoch, my grandfather, came and stood by me, and said unto me, why hast thou cried unto me with a bitter cry and weeping? And a lot of y'all don't even know what a true cry or a weeping is. You know, pain and agony and anguish, but there's no focus, no direction. And you seek an enemy to comfort you. And a command has gone forth from the Pistons of the Hua concerning those who dwell on the earth, that their ruin is accomplished because they have learnt all the secrets of the luminaries and all the violence of the Satans. Who remembers I did that live where I discussed all these over 6,400 names and all their powers. So the Vatican's got you believing some one Satan. Have any of y'all broke down the etymology of that word? I mean, I did a few, but I'm not going to go all into it again. And all their powers, the most secret ones, and all the power of those who practice sorcery, and the power of witchcraft, and the power of those who make molten images for the whole earth, and how silver is produced from the dust of the earth, and how soft metal originates in the earth. For lead and tin are not produced from the earth like the first. It is a fountain that produces them, and a luminary stands therein, and that luminary is preeminent. Are y'all aware, like the pyramids and many of our old buildings, the reason why the mudslides caused what to happen, because underneath them it used to be nothing but mercury, which is abundant on Earth, y'all. Well, it's what we call water. Then there's so-called oil, the veins of our Mother Earth. And then there's mercury. Abundance, y'all. It's like there's molten copper and lead. And that luminary is preeminent, existing before the liquid. And after that, my grandfather Enoch took hold of me by my hand and raised me up and said unto me, go for I have asked the Hawavs of light as touching this commotion on the earth, to reach down and to do, because it's not that things are not known within us. We know these things and yet we slumber. I said, what was it, a month ago? I said, why can we not be one voice to send energy to each other, to elevate, to illuminate, to consciously bring back an order? Because we always pictorial, like, got to be on some platform. I'm using this to reach you, but if you got to be on Facebook and InstaHook and picking the nose thing, if you got to be on that, and it's always, it's like having a brand new car. You got to show it off. Like, nothing's going to get done. I know everybody's got a rationale behind it, but you, no. Y'all still doing the same thing over and over and over. That reprobate mind of yours. And then you're listening to people who are telling you, oh, the imaginary God in the sky. They don't know what in the, look, they can't even get 100 feet in the air, and they sitting there too busy telling you about what's beyond, and they don't have a freaking clue other than what they've been given, and yet they want you to believe something. I'm not telling you don't believe in your God if that's what you want to utilize. I'm telling you you are part of the mix, and you haven't even tapped into yourself to know what exists, and you don't even know how to cry out for that rekindling. And he said unto me, because of their unrighteousness, their judgment has been determined upon and shall not be withheld by me forever. These people are going to do that dumb stuff. And you know what? He has allowed them to be stuck. He, him, they, shim, if you want to get into nouns and all that, pronouns and all that goofy stuff, whatever it is. And it's within our hearts too. It's in mine. Remember I said I put a curse out there for them to commit suicide? They did that for a power play in this cursed language. I wanted to show them. And here they still see it, and they're not even getting it. Persecution and prosecution. And nobody's even paying attention. And there wasn't nothing happening. It's not about proof. Everybody always said they want proof. And then when something's going on, you know what they do? Because you don't know no better. Now, don't use anyone right now. I wish you'd ever done burn in hell. Well, that's not how it works. Miss with the little gay boy that was murdered and dressed up on the table looking like something that these pale skins have made bronze statues of and put all over their places in their homes. That's right. These little weird little people in Hollywood and everywhere else have made bronze statues, even got refrigerators in homes with their severed head of the big black gay guy, a melanated broad with his hands and his penis laying in copper or brass in the fridge. Fridge don't work, just as a piece for Romeo Bravovich and people like that to look at. The little Asian boy that was dismembered up under the bed, and he was all in the carcass and all that sick stuff. And the little native boy too. Because of the sorceries which they have searched out and learned, the earth, and you know, some of these words are meant to be utilized to keep you away from the truth of the word on the meaning, to establish a reconnection. But anyway, we're going to go on. The earth and those who dwell upon it shall be destroyed. Again, because of the sorceries which they have searched out and learnt, and the earth and those who dwell upon it shall be destroyed. And these they have no place of repentance forever, because they have shown them what was hidden, and they are the damned. But as for it, and that's why I tell you, love is more important than all those things. The curse I put out there is not a curse by me. It's theirs. All I did was enumerate a word as if some emotion and feeling went with it, and all I did was put the thought there when it wasn't. And they've committed themselves to it, so many, and they don't get it. It's not from me. That's how powerful it is and how powerful you are. You just don't know it. But as for thee, my son, the Hava of light knows that thou art pure and guiltless of this reproach concerning the secrets. Now let's say this is all fictional. I know the arrogant ignorant will say, well, what does it matter? I am only, what have I said? You are what? What are you capable of? You don't even have a clue, do you? Okay. What does the word abracadabra mean? Speaking into people, you got to do better. And he have destined thy name to be among the holy, and will preserve three amongst those who dwell on the earth. And he has determined thy name to be among the holy, and will preserve thee amongst those who dwell on the earth. And has destined thy righteous seed both for kingship and for great honors. And from thy seed shall proceed a fountain of the righteous and holy without number forever. We can have 1 trillion people on earth, and there's more than enough to go around. These people are sick. They are very sick. Chapter 66. And after that he showed me the luminaries of punishment, who are prepared to come and let loose all the powers of the waters which are beneath in the earth, in order to bring judgment and destruction on all who abide and dwell on the earth. And the Hawa's light gave commandment to the luminaries who were going forth, and they should not cause the waters to rise, but should hold them in check. For those luminaries were over the powers of the waters. And I went away from the presence of Enoch. And this is about Noah, the time of the deluge, which is over in thousands of different places. And I mean, literally. And not enough where they can go around painting it and carving it in the rocks. In the signs, if you know what you're looking for, if you're in the Grand Canyon or wherever mezzanines or mountains, if you know what you're looking for, you know that they happen abruptly and quickly, not some thousands and millions of goofy years. And in those days, chapter 67, and in those days, the word of the Creator of the Most High came unto me, and he said unto me, Noah, thy lot has come up before me, a lot without blame, a lot of love and uprightness. And now the luminaries are making a wooden building, and when they have completed that task, I will place my hand upon it and preserve it, and there shall come forth from it the seed of life. And listen to this. And now the luminaries are making a wooden building, and when they have completed that task, I will place my hand upon it and preserve it, and there shall come forth from it the seed of life, and a change shall set in, so that the earth will not remain without inhabitants. Not a boat. What is the word ark? The etymology is true meaning, not in this foul language of conscription. Research, people. I'm asking you questions to look into. And I will make fast thy seed before me forever and ever, and I will spread abroad those who dwell with thee. It shall not be unfruitful on the face of the earth, but it shall be blessed and multiply on the earth in the name of the Most High, on the Hava, light. And he will imprison those luminaries who have shown unrighteousness in in that burning valley, which my grandfather Enoch had formerly shown to me in the west among the mountains of gold and silver and iron and loft metal and tin. They're buried here, y'all. And I saw that valley in which there was a great convulsion and a convulsion of the waters. Why do you think Utah has some of the most wicked pale skins in it? And Spaniards. And when all this took place from that fiery molten metal and from the convulsion thereof in that place, there was produced a smell of sulfur, and it was connected with those waters in that valley of the luminaries who had led astray mankind burned beneath that land. And all through its valleys proceed streams of fire, where these luminaries are punished who had led astray those who dwell upon the earth. But those waters shall in those days serve for the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth for the healing of the body, but for the punishment of the spirit. So the fires will be as a healing. Doesn't it sound like those little, it seemed like they took them and moved them and destroyed them. Yes, a lot of people go to these places to go and get in those little mud things during their little vacations and bring their little stench, vile little bodies. And oh, y'all don't know what I'm talking about? From Nebraska all the way to Utah, Idaho, all the little mud pits and all the little things they built, highly mineral and sulfuric, exfoliating the skin and everything else. But those waters shall in those days serve for the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth for the healing of the body, but for the punishment of the light. Now their Hawa of light is full of lust, and they may be punished in their body, for they have denied the Hawa of light and see their punishment daily, and yet believe not in his name. And in proportion as the burning of their bodies becomes severe, a corresponding change shall take place in their spirit forever and ever. For before the Hawa of light, none shall utter an idle word. Wow. For the judgment shall come upon them, because they believe in the lust of their body and deny the Hawa of light. And those same waters will undergo a change in those days. Listen, and those same waters will undergo a change in those days. For when those luminaries are punished in these waters springs shall change their temperature. And when the luminaries ascend, this water of the springs shall change and become cold. And I heard Michael answering and saying, this judgment wherewith the luminaries are judged is a testimony for the kings and the mighty who possess the earth. They've been warned and they ignore it, because these waters of judgment minister to the healing of the body of the kings and the lust of their body. Therefore they will not see and will not believe that those waters will change and become a fire which burns forever. Who is this? Oh, okay, PJ. I had to check that later, brother. Let's get back into this wonderful, beautiful story, right? And know this, people. You've got to remember, when certain individuals write a book, and it's sad, because there are some pale skins who are writing books who are not misleading, and they're alluding to the books being melanated or mixed people. Some people just don't know no better. So they must, in order to make a sell, if they was to give so much as an inkling that this is based upon facts, not fiction, it really wouldn't sell. So be mindful and know. You know what surf interpretation is, right? Okay. Chew the fruit, spit out the seeds. Chew the fish, meaning chew the meat, meaning fish, and spit out the bones. And you don't have to stuff your throat with bread, okay? With more, additives, okay? So make sure. You know how we can be. just want to make sure I'm in the right place. Even though I know him. I know where it's at. Just... Okay, yeah. He suddenly gets up and shakes the hand of another man, and his demeanor changes to a submissive one. Stop playing in the box. His demeanor changes to a submissive one. I'm sorry I'm late. Is this the girl? The man says, and his tone is curt. He nods and looks at her. Bonnie, please meet Malcolm Harrington. Bonnie is confused, but she gets up from her chair and gives him her hand. He doesn't shake it. He merely holds it and gently in his own and frowns. I expected. You are not what I expected, he says rudely, and quickly looks at his pocket watch, then back at her. You will just have to do. Come on, we are late. He snaps her and it makes her flinch. He marches off and she grabs her gloves. You know what? I think I read a lot of this last night. Excuse me. She eats her pie and feels much better because of pie and coffee. Malcolm seems nice and kind. My apologies, y'all. Nice and kind. He is young and handsome, has blonde hair and blue eyes. His smile is comforting. His hands, she must meet the status. She must be able to sell it to a certain group of individuals, not knowing no better, all right? And handsome. Has blonde hair and blue eyes. His smile is comforting. His hands are soft and gentle, and he has a sparkle in his eye that is infectious. He suddenly gets up and shakes the hand of another man, and his demeanor changes to a submissive one. I'm sorry I'm late. Is this the girl? The man says, and his tone is court. He nods and looks at her. Bonnie, please meet Malcolm Harrington. Bonnie is confused, but she gets up from her chair and gives him her hand. Are you okay, man? You okay? I told you, I knew he was going to take a dump and start doing the friggin' Richard Petty. Man, his face running like a bat out of Zingbot, man. God damn. He just looked at me, stopped halfway on the stairs, up against the wall. I'm like, what? I ain't got no handcuffs on you. Okay, let's get back to reading. So Bonnie is confused, but she gets up from her chair and gives him her hand. He doesn't shake it. He merely holds it gently in his own and frowns. I expected. You are not what I expected, he says rudely and quickly looks at his pocket watch. Then back at her. You will just have to do. Come on, we are late. He snaps at her and it makes her flinch. He marches off and she grabs her gloves from the table and follows him as quickly and ladylike as she can. She never even got to ask the other man who he was and wonders if she will see him again. Malcolm helps her into the carriage and they sit in an awkward and bitter silence for about 20 minutes. He doesn't glance at her or even acknowledge her presence, but rather feels uncomfortable around her. The carriage stops and he climbs out and mumbles something at her and walks inside the building. She stands in front of the carriage and has a good look at her surroundings. Nothing is familiar, but it is beautiful here, and it is cold. There is snow everywhere. She hears children, laughing down the street, and a few stray leaves blow over her feet. She watches them carry on down the street and notices the atmosphere is eerie. A man gestures for her to go inside, and she dully does as he asks. Welcome, Miss Harrington. A lady not older than 40 appears out of nowhere and is helping her take off her coat and scarf. She hangs them up and by the door and smiles. While looking her up and down, she has a soft face, blonde hair, light blue eyes, and a small scar on her left cheek. That is a slight pink color. Is this my new home? She asks, and her voice is meek and unsure. An unstable way of, is this my home? You know? Yes, it is. My name is Jane, and I run your household. If there's anything you need, you come and ask me. And her smile is warm and genuine, and Bonnie feels calm around her. They both suddenly flinch to the sound of glass breaking. Bonnie locks her eyes with Jane and can hear Malcolm shouting at someone in the tents, and she tenses up like a ball of yarn. Sounds like Maiden's Tale, right? For those, any of y'all ever watched that? Maiden's Tale? Okay. Coffee or tea, she asks and takes Bonnie by the shoulders and leads her towards the drawing room. You will get used to it here. Now look happy and smile, she says, and hands her a cup of warm chamomile tea. Malcolm enters the room and sits down opposite her. Jane hands him a cup of coffee and he takes a healthy sip of coffee. You bugging, cuz. And swallows it loudly. Oh. He watched her and opens his mouth as if to say something, only to close it again and say nothing instead. You are too young for me and not what I want. He clenches his jaw and balls his hand into a fist. I will speak to Miss Estes in the morning and have her send me someone else, he says, and takes another sip of his coffee. His eyes are fierce and mean, and Bonnie can't bear to look at them. She shakes her head to acknowledge it's not there, y'all. It just shakes her to acknowledge that she understands. She shakes her head. All right, let me show you. It should be head right here. She shakes her to acknowledge. She shakes her head to acknowledge, excuse me, that she understands what he had just said or expressed, and her eyes tear up in shame. While he gets up, finishes his last sip of coffee, and walks out of the room, she waits until she can no longer hear his footsteps, and she starts to cry, all alone in a strange place. I do that a lot in a lot of these books, y'all. And I will go back and actually put a little triangle, upside down triangle, and insert the word head. I do this a lot, y'all. And somebody says, when you're in college, yes, I used to proofread a lot of people for the professors, a lot of people's work, and even some of the you would be surprised at how many, and y'all, those of y'all in college know what I'm talking about. There are many times where certain quotation marks were just not appropriate or befitting what you're reading. That's why sometimes when you hear me reading, it seems like I get automated. And I'm like, wait a minute. Where's a comma? Where's the period? Now, when I'm writing, I'm not a grammar Nazi, so I'll write it so I know some of y'all read on and on now for you who are really analytical. Kiss my ass. But anyway, that's what I do. Chapter 2. She can't sleep that night and lies in her bed staring at the ceiling. She left the dark blue curtains wide open and the moonlight is shining inside, softly making the room just bright enough for her to stare at the artwork on the ceiling. Why would someone paint such a magical piece on the ceiling for no one to appreciate? She wonders. It seems weird to her, and she lets her mind wander to Malcolm. Now, you remember at this time, Tartarian buildings were still all over the place. We are Tartary. I don't care what you think or believe. It seems weird to her, and she lets her mind wander to Malcolm. She replays the look of complete and utter disappointment that he had on his face when he met her, and she wonders where she will be going to next. She remembers Dora, the girl on the train, telling her she is pretty and that her husband will like her. Why doesn't he like me? What did I do wrong? She questions herself. She cries out and she can feel the tears run down her cheeks. Who will want her now? She has heard the stories. Women who don't get placed with a husband need to work. Some end up at the factories, other in the colonies. Perhaps she can run someone's household, like Jane. But I don't know anything about running a household, she reminds herself. She turns over and a single tear runs down her cheek and onto her pillow. She has cried enough tears for the night. And I'm going to make a statement after I get done reading these 2 paragraphs. She decides to try and fall asleep in the big warm bed. She misses her mother. She doesn't know what happened to her, but she remembers the face of a lady with crystal blue eyes and gentle hands. She was blonde, with long wavy hair and a bright and loving smile. When she spoke, her words sounded like that of an angel, but she didn't recognize what she said. It wasn't English as she knew it. One day I will know what happened, she whispered out loud, hoping that whatever her mother is, she will hear her, and finally she dozes off with a clear and exhausted mind. She wakes up to Jane placing a tray of coffee next to her bed. She opens her eyes slowly and feels groggy and exhausted. Good morning, Miss Harrington. Did you sleep well? she asks with a cheerful voice. She turns to open the curtains and pauses for a minute. When she realizes that they are already open, she watches the snow fall and places her hand onto the glass pane on the window, as if she is remembering something from her past. It is still snowing, but it should clear up soon, she mutters. But it sounds to Bonnie as if she is talking to herself and not to her. Bonnie sits up in her bed and she feels sore and tired. Most of all, she feels sad and hopeless. What is going to happen to me now? She asks, and she pulls the blanket up to her chin. Jane pours some tea in a small light pink teacup and hands it to her. Nothing at all. You will be joined in union by this evening, and you will become his wife. His wife? She takes a sip of tea and keeps her eyes on the teacup. Miss Harrington, he has changed his mind and he will marry you. Today, in fact. Her voice is chipper and full of life. She places her hand on Bonnie's cheek and brushes it softly with her finger. He is a harsh man, but you will understand him eventually. Now finish your tea. We need to get ready. So Jane runs a bath for her and puts something scented into the water. She can smell it all the way by the bed and wonders what that is. It is sweet and earthy, with a hint of warmth and something that is familiar to her, but she doesn't know what it is. What does that smell? She asks with curiosity filling her eyes. Jane smiles and hands her a little bottle with a golden cap. There is a small metal chain dangling from the bottle, and the letter A is engraved on the front of it. It's a gift from Mr. Harrington. Use it sparingly and only on special occasions. She admonishes her, and Bonnie nods in agreement. She takes the bottle from Bonnie and places it back inside the little white cupboard by the sink in the bathroom, medicine cabinet, people. There is, and that's not what it was in the beginning, but that's what it is now. There's a single white face cloth next to it with a red A stitched onto it, and she knows these things belong to someone else at some point. Now come on and get in. We need to give you a nice wash. Bonnie has never had her long hair washed with anything other than soap. But this bathroom is full of products, and she watches Jane and what she uses for her hair and her skin, and it makes her feel special for the very first time in her life. I feel quite pampered, she chuckles, and Jane shares her smile. You are the future, Miss Harrington. It is a big deal. You are basically royalty. She pauses. Not quite royalty like the queen, but you understand. He is filthy rich. There's nothing you can't have. We'll leave that at that and get to the last part. Will be accept as to forget. I'm going to read one little thing out of Flatlandis, because you got to remember, we're circumventing a narrative, and you must paint a picture, or have a picturesque ideology of a time permissible in what may have existed as far as a plane when buildings were still there, based upon what? You don't hear no religious dichotomy in what I'm reading to you, do you? That's why I put Enoch up, because these are colonizers in America, which is Canada, all the way at Greenland, all the way to so-called South America. America wasn't just one place, and it wasn't called America. No, it's Canada. Consider, you know what, yesterday we were, the Kundalini, the chakras, you know, cerebellum, the pineal gland, the fluids, the Christ fluid. Okay. Consider the caduceus symbol found on all hospitals and medical establishments. What does this represent, and why is it so revered in medicine? Excuse me. The symbol shows an upright staff being climbed and intertwined by twin serpents, topped with a ball and sprouting wings. Who remembers not that long ago, before this fake ass queen succumbed to whatever it was? She went out in the front, put her hand in that blue, royal blue. She's not royal. and lit up all the way across. It would look like a DNA strand, right? Remember, it wasn't just for several points. It went for a very long time. Okay. I'm not going to break down no more of that. The symbol shows an upright staff being climbed and intertwined by twin serpents topped with a ball and sprouting wings. You would be forgiven for confusion over why such a symbol has anything to do with the medical field. Like the tree of life in the Atlantean myth, the staff of the Caduceus represents the human. I know it's pronounced different, but I'm saying it that way because I don't want to say that fake ass word. Represents the human spine. Just as the serpent Aladdin lived coiled in the tree of life, the twin snakes coiling up the Caduceus represent Kundalini energy rising up in the spinal column. The points where two snakes intersect represent, and I'll show you the picture, I think I showed it to you before, lower chakras, and the ball sprouting wings represents the highest crown chakra. This symbolism is also found in ancient Egypt, where pharaohs would carry a tall staff while wearing cobra headdresses featuring a snake and or a bird coming out from their third eye. Again, the staff represents the human cerebrospinal system, and the snake represents Kundalini, and the third eye is one of our 7 chakras. The wings of the caduceus of the bird's head of the pharaoh's headdress represents enlightenment. It's almost like, you know what I mean? An open third eye and illuminated crown chakra. The Egyptian mystery schools were actually centers of initiation for this arcane knowledge. Mythology often appears to be describing body sensations when it speaks of serpents, as well as describing the human spine, which can be symbolized as the tree or twin trees, or the serpent or twin serpents, and the serpent image connected with the spine has its best known representation in the Indian Kundalini mythology. Chetwynd describes body symbolism that is related to the serpent as connected with the spinal column, which joins the physical nature, the genitals, to the spiritual nature, the head. And we all know that it takes 2 to tango, right? I'm gonna leave that right there because I know some of y'all think y'all really know a lot, and you're gonna be running off with all that Pan-African, Kama Sutra, blah, 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 and Kemet, that bullshit. And I don't want to sit here and embarrass any of you. All right, so this is what the picture looks like. I actually have one. I'm CPR certified and a few other things, and I'm a nurse that is not working, so I'm not satisfied. I didn't take the state, what you call it, because I can't be up on my feet that long, not right now. So, Jerry Ann Leonard, the Genesis model, and y'all can look that up if you want. Okay, the Genesis model. Unbeknownst to most Christians, these symbols and allegories were all expertly encoded into the Bible as well, and not just the obvious serpent on the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. For example, in Exodus, Moses and Aaron are brought before the Egyptian Pharaoh, and by a miracle in the Garden of Eden is to misplace you, to misdirect your focus. Tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. For example, in Exodus, Moses and Aaron are brought before the Egyptian Pharaoh, and by a miracle, Aaron's wooden staff magically transforms into a living snake. Exodus chapter 7, verse 10 reads, Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Aaron's rod is his spine, and the serpent is Kundalini. The actual Egyptian pharaohs would have been well aware of the symbolism conveyed here, as they traditionally wore cobra headdresses and carried such staves, scepters themselves. All it alludes to is he spoke knowledge, ancient knowledge, more so than what they understood. He represented something of a higher enlightenment. But you know, Zionist Hollywood had to put a stick and some pale skins and throw a stick on the ground, and it becomes with a terrible ass CGI. Back then wasn't CGI. No. The tongue is like a what? A dagger? A serpent? silver tongue, gold tongue. Come on, people. Later in the bibliography, which later became the Bible, Aaron is again used in a passage encoding the symbolism. Numbers chapter 8 verses 2 reads, "Speak to Aaron and say unto him, when thou lightest the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light over against the candlestick. Speak and say." The candlestick is your spine, and the 7 lamps are your 7 chakras. The word chakra literally translates to wheels of light. Similarly, Revelation chapter 5 verses 1 reads, "And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals." Again, just like that, what is found within and on your backside, your spine sealed with 7 chakras. The enlightenment, the waking, has nothing to do with outside of you. Stop looking out the window, people. All the answers are within you. You are the benefactor to heal, to change, to manifest. This analogy, God, my tongue twisting now. The analogy, is even more explicitly stated in the books of Matthew and Genesis. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 22, y'all's old boy Jesus says, "The lamp of the body is the eye. Never shoot the messenger, just pay attention. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light." Who remembers the little brother who cannot see, and he can see images better than you? Daredevil. Genesis chapter 32 verse 30 states that Jacob called the place Peniel, and saying, "It is because I saw Yahweh face to face." Meditate, seek yourself. In other words, Yeshua and Jacob are referring to the pineal gland, the third eye, or single eye, meditation point, which lies at the geometric center of our brains. When you slow your brain waves through meditation, sensory deprivation, entheogens, fasting, or other methods, your usually overactive self-brain eases off, allowing easier access to the higher temporal or higher holistic right brain and through to the pineal gland, which the Bible calls the dwelling place of Hawa. I had to say it that way. I'm not going to use that damn G word. And Descartes is called the seat of the soul. A pineal gland fluoride is deposited here as a result of fluoridated products. Let's show you what fluoride does to the pineal gland. Oh, those are real pineal glands. So all the gods and Satans, heavens and hells are within you. Now are you getting what I'm doing here? I appreciate everybody coming in. I'm going to give some shout outs and I'm going to sign off. I love reading for you. I would rather be doing that than other things. The dream I didn't share all the dream, but I had to say what I had to say. All right. And I appreciate y'all coming in. You know where I stand. I've got a lot to read. I didn't read the other book. I'm going to read that mother sucker in the morning. The ice papers is not done. I gave you a little sample because there's so much I don't want to confuse by continuously using black, this, that, and other, like crayon fiction, that I'm not going to change it. I'm going to still read it as is because it's important that I read her works as it is. You get what I'm saying? But I'm going to keep it part of the end of Flat Earth is coming up. Flat Atlantis. All right, so reading. So, the ISIS papers. Oh my goodness. I lost the page. Where is it at? we go. We're going to take it from there. So I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to read that. Oh, and I haven't read. I want to make sure I'm on there good before I start reading these three again on TikTok. And all I'm going to do is read over there. I'm not going to say nothing or whatever. Just read. But the Arctic Home in Nevada, it's the ISIS Papers, and another book that I received. And I'll show you later. Like I said, I got a ton of books. I was in the shed today cleaning out some cobwebs because it's not hermetic. It's not this shed in the back of my place. My patio and everything is a shed right there. Big walk-in, big. And I was digging through some books and I found the exact book I need to read with it. And to give you a parting gift, because I didn't want to stop. I actually been sharing this with people who are pugilists, martial artists. And I'm gonna give you just one little bit. Excuse me. What is that? All this is my reading. I'm not gonna read all this to you. I can read this at the end for those who really are into, the Book of Five Rings. But the Earth chapter. I love practicing hieroglyphing, man. When I get down, I'll be sitting there with my little paintbrush, trying to get my wrist to show sloppy. Yeah. And I know what it is, so it's the Earth. And chapters 1, it's the Earth. So I'm getting pretty good at it. The thing is, learn how to write it from this, paint it from this side to this way, instead of me being used to going from left to right. So I've been practicing and getting quick with it. So yeah, guys, I actually know how to do it, but it's sloppy. And I'm using watercolor, which gives it a more ambience, and it's beautiful. Yes, I've been to Japan, so shut up. I have named my own way of the martial arts to two heavens, one style. Listen, I have named my own way of the martial arts to two heavens, one style. And after many years of discipline, have thought to describe it in a book for the first time. In the first week or so of the 10th month of the 20th year of Kanai, 1643. You gotta remember when Japan was conquered, y'all. 300-year war almost. I climbed Mount Yawato in the province of Higo on the island of Kyushu. Bowed in veneration to heaven, worshiped Kanan. Kanan, are y'all paying attention? Flatlanders, navigator across, okay, pay attention. And stood before the Buddha, born in the province of Harima. I am the warrior Shimen Musashi, no Kami Fujiwara, no Genshin. I have now reached the age of 60. From long ago in my youth, I set my mind on the martial arts and had my first match when I was 13. My opponent was a martial artist, and y'all giving y'all's kids 5G phones and PlayStations and shit. Martial arts of the Shinto style Arima Kei, whom I defeated at the age of 16. I defeated a strong martial artist by the name of Tajima no Akiyama at the age of 20. I went to the capital and met with famous martial artists, and although I fought a number of matches, I was never unable to take the victory. After that, I went from province to province, from place to place, and encountered martial artists from many different schools. And though I fought as many as 60 matches, I did not lose even one. All of these were events occurring from the time I was 13 until I reached 28 or 29. When I had passed the age of 30 and thought back over my life, I understood that I had not been a victor because of extraordinary skill in the martial arts. Perhaps I had some natural talent, or I had not departed from natural principles. I say this because order is natural and we have been separated from her. Or again, Was it that the martial arts of the other styles were lacking somewhere? Or maybe what you believe is right in your principles of what they have given you is lacking, and me speaking about natural order can return you to be the proper pugilist. As I said earlier, instead of being a citizen in a lie, conscripted to keep formulating, giving energy to a lie, be wild, free, unbridled, untamed, be natural as the beasts and the animals. For don't they have order? And every time we train one, well, you see what happens. I just thought I would throw that in there for you. Y'all know I love you. Oh yeah, it's like that, y'all. I'm no thief. And I'll be finishing up that book for the Circuit Time tonight. And no, though I know how to say some words and I had to learn some more. I know how to. I'm not studying Japanese, but ich ni sonchi all that crap, and yeah, I'm working on it. But I appreciate y'all hanging in there. It's an hour. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down. You know where I stand with you guys. Let's give a shout out to everybody. Rondo, what's going on, beloved one? Mama Red. Oh, honor to everybody. Lamont Jr., salute. APJR, what's cracking? Golden Cougar. All right now. All that cougar stuff. Joshua Northern, peace and blissfulness. Appreciate you. Yes, always. Shimo Thomas, blissfulness, peace. Matthew Moore Cooper, Halito, what's going on? Oh, those are medicine. Yes, they are. And you know what? Even though they're doing what they're doing, we have to be the eternal, if you know what I'm saying, regardless of what they're doing. They will have no more presence in those places. Oh, no, that's right, soon. You got that right. Speak it to her. I appreciate y'all, all I do. Good. Mother Nature and the universe, there's always being a student of energy, Empress. That's good, y'all. That's beautiful. I appreciate. Oh man, Creator 7, blissfulness. And Kusa Federation. Kusa. Kusa. I don't know how to turn notifications on so I can get these things. I know, man. I need to be over there a lot more often. Appreciate you so much. Mount Tartarus, Turtle Island, in America's many names by land. Yes, very true. West Side, what's going on, beloved? I'm gonna wake up, be righteous in the Creator's right. Exactly. And you know the beautiful thing is, we are righteous. It's a veil we must remove. They can watch all day. They can record it all day. We don't care no more. The moment you care about what they're doing is the moment you defeat yourself. The moment you care about their intrusions and how they look at you, perceive you, and their little experiments, gross analogies, and everything else, is the moment you allow them too far in. And I appreciate everybody coming in. Hey, Westside, how's it going? I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, and I keep this fast going unless I feel like I gotta eat something. If I gotta eat something, I gotta eat something. You know what I mean? But I feel good. Big Pontiac, what's going on? Yes. It was a good reading. And you know what I do every day? I always say, for those who are in the chat and those who are not, I send as little energy out as I can. I can't give it all out because then that means I'd empty it out and I'd be a husk laying here stinking, waiting for somebody to come and find it and do what they do with our bodies, which is perverse. But I send energy out to everybody. I really do. It's hard sometimes because sometimes I feel weak after I do it because I haven't really attained everything I'm saying. Maybe I might be saying too much, but then again, maybe I'm saying what's supposed to be said. And I appreciate y'all. I really do. Love y'all. There's no other words that can be more meaningful. But I gotta run out and get some ganejos. I gotta go get some bananas. You know, I gotta eat my bananas, y'all, and my peanut. Man, I got the good stuff. I think I only got about 3 more peanut butters up in here. So, and my honey too. So I'm gonna run out and grab them. And hey, look, people know I don't beg, but if you want to slide $2, look, it's not a lot. $5. When I get that amount for those books, and I should have screenshot of the books that I'm going to get. I know I'm gonna have to add about $35 or something like that because it's quite a bit. Right now it's like $63 or $65. Suit, Riploid, Grey Wolf, and all the others. Appreciate y'all. Well, some of y'all saw some of the books that I've gotten. And look, don't forget I got 9 of these. I'm keeping 2, and I'm when I start reading these, I'm gonna send out 7 in the next month. So I got 9. This is for my boy, and this is the one I'm going to read. And the other several down on the table in the box, Gmails, when we get them reading, the first ones that hit, I'm going to let y'all know. I'm going to mail them out to the first several. All right? The Antarctica and the Vedas. And I got 2 more books coming from 2 other people. And one of them is part of the monetaries that's going to go towards that. That's based on what I've been reading out of here. So that if you get this, it's only like $14, $15 for this, guys. All right, if you get this and when you start reading, I'll have some of the books for those of you who are devout readers, and that way I can go ahead and send you those books. They'll be for free. It's based on the money y'all been sending. This is all these I buy with that, and I add. Yes, of course, I have to add a little bit something to it. I mean, you know, it's not like I buy books all the time. I've got a ton. I haven't shown. I'm not gonna say it. That doesn't make no sense. I'm going to read. Keep your eyes on the focus on what we're doing. But yeah, there's 9 of those. 1 for my cousin, my nephew. The other one's for me, and the other several. At the end of after that fake Christmas and all that. Well, after Christmas and all that stuff. I don't have to say all that fake shit, but I'll make sure that the first in my Gmail, first I read, those books are going right to you people, and I'm going to do it the way original Lone Wolf. I'm not paying for it. You know what I'm saying? I'll have to make sure it goes into y'all for free. And if I got to pay for it, rent on the seasons what the seasons, I don't really care. So again, love y'all. And I appreciate the donations and all that. It's helpful. It really is. All right? And we got to be at peace with one another, but we must be at peace with ourselves. If we're not at peace with ourselves, how can we be at peace with one another? It's very important that you look inside, people. I am never going to stray from expressing that. In order to be calm, to be a straight shooter in life, to be with focus, and to be honorable in that focus, to be part of that diatribe that is angelic in self, luminary of sight, self, the Hava, the light that you are. We must connect even in distance. We don't have Tartaria here now where we can, so we must manifest and elevate. We must elevate. And I'm talking to all walks of life if you're capable. All right? So I appreciate it again. Y'all know to add Cashapp if you want. All right, because I know some of y'all stubborn. If it takes me 5 months, if I just got to go ahead and kick out the extra little 100, whatever, I'll do whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll get the books. I really want them anyway. I'm like a kid. If it comes to models, paint, like I got to fix that, I'm going to get some glue sticks from my glue gun because I can sit up here and maybe I'd take my mind off of one to eat and fix my little buddy's scratchy paw. The one downstairs is fine, but he tore this one up. All right? Y'all saw it. When I showed y'all all my guns and stuff I had to put away. I got to clean some of them, but I got to load. And so that's all that's over there is just gun bags that I need to put in the friggin' vault. And nobody's dragging that down the stairs. But yeah, he did a job on that thing. But I got to fix it for him. But that's my little bro. Look, y'all have a grand evening. Again, I appreciate y'all. I can never administer or express that enough. And till tomorrow. All right? Ladies, gentlemen, You already know.